back. Right now we're going to talk about HBCUs. For those who don't know what that means, it's historically black college or university. And then we're going to get into PWI, it's a predominantly white institution. My first question that I have is, can some people elaborate on the stereotype of an HBCU? Like, I know, they say they're not as smart as the PWI. They say they don't have as much funding. They say they don't have as much resources. Can I have an HBCU grad elaborate a little bit more on that?
I know for me, the college that I graduated from, it was HBCU, it's Grambling State University. And funding for us was not great because our school is smaller. We're in a town that consists of maybe roughly 15,000 people as a population. So you have people that's coming from different areas bringing in certain scholarships that was offered in their state to accommodate in this state. Louisiana don't offer a lot of funding for HBCUs because at one point our governor from maybe 3 years ago, he wanted to close Grambling and Southern. And then he wanted to push us into like LSU and Xavier and Tulane, which a lot of the community base was not going to have that because these schools been in our state for years, and they have set
a legacy.
Yes, a legacy. And why would you want to close these two schools that basically rival each other? We bring in funds in different avenues for different areas that each school has to offer. So when it comes to like for me, I graduated from a high school in Louisiana, and the funding, the grant that I received is the only grant that you receive if you graduate only from a school in Louisiana. And it's not that much, it's like $900. And you want me to use this for a 4-year tenure at a college.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's unacceptable, because the rest I'm gonna have to come up out my pocket or take out student loans. So the access that we have to certain scholarships and funding, or the amount that you're allowed to get, it's just not acceptable to be able to continue an education over 4 years in Louisiana, and I just think it's not acceptable.
Anybody else want to elaborate on their experience with HBCU?
So, I went to Delaware State University, and I had an awesome time there. You have a lot more people that look like you. Your teachers look like you. My brother, I have a twin brother, he went to UD. So I got to see kind of the best of both worlds. The stereotypes about HBCUs is like party schools. It's easy to get in. They take anybody. Of course, we don't have much funding. Our campuses aren't as big in comparison to like a UD or Ohio State. And that I feel like sometimes you have that on your application and you have to work harder as coming out of HBCU because, all these stereotypes about you. Because if you're not from Delaware, if you go to New York and you're like, I went to Delaware State. Oh, University of Delaware. Nah, there's two different names. But I think it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for an experience, like a cultural experience, that you can find that at a HBCU.
To pretty much the whole panel, do you think there's a preconceived notion that if you graduate from a PWI versus an HBCU, you're better off coming from a PWI, you have better competition, or you're just better off, like your resume won't get looked over versus if you come to HBCU? Do you think that's a reality, or?